I want to talk through a little bit more about how has the program helped you as specific outcome itself? Was there anything that is somewhat tangible before and after as an impact?
Oh, I think it had a huge impact. And in fact, before we had started, we were quite random in our thoughts about the market, about our product, and we were going, around it in a way that was, like played by the ear kind of its approach.
Mm-hmm.
While it was not very structured, even though we tried to make it as structured from our previous experience as possible,
Mm-hmm.
but the customers came by and we started. So I think for us, the timing had been great
Mm-hmm.
because we had gone through the process of initially launching our solutions and product,
Mm-hmm.
and now getting it into scale. Unless you have structured it well and you have a plan, you understand the pros and cons, you have very finely defined your offerings to the market, and you have understood which offering to go after and which not, because you know the scale and the profitability that comes with it. The way to measure the profitability itself was a big issue also. How we would sort of do all that. So for us, it's a huge transformation. I would say it's a complete transformation. We are very thankful for this because it has come in very good time. Like I said, now what we have is a very clear outlook of where we have to go in the particular market that we discussed. About energy, in which we sort of went through in detail, and what products we should have. So one is the market, which are the customers we should go after. We've clearly outlined that through the program. Which are the offerings that we need to have? What should we do to partner? Which are the kind of partners that we are selling through? And what more partnerships that we would need to make this happen? And then eventually the profitability, etc. The financials as well. Very, very important. So positioning the product, obviously the secret sauce, the white space, how to sort of maneuver through the entire complexity and come up with something which is a product, with the final eventual product of something which is very well thought through and therefore is something promising, is what we have been able to achieve through this program. So I think what we in fact decided is, because we are also in the process of making some standards within the company when it comes to strategy. So we want to use this as a strategic tool to actually do analytics for and planning for any solution that we come up with henceforth. So that is why I've been harping on, can we have access to the tool continuously and not really do it one time? Because as time goes by and we have seen, things change. Where we are today, we have to also after 3 months come up with what was the result that we had targeted. What are the result of the target that we had taken or assumed we would have after the whole process. And then therefore, how can we fine tune or realign our strategies again about the positioning of product and other things? Has the market changed? Do we need to sort of work around a newer strategy? So it is a continuous process. What we have done is wonderful, and like I already said, is something which we like to really do everything about. But also the fact that we need to continue to do this. And that is where my question is: how do we ensure that this tool remains as a strategic tool with us, and not really just for this program we have done something? And this is the question I have. And when I was talking last time, Josephine, in fact, I want to clarify, because I was told that we would have regular sessions with you as we go, and therefore I felt that we will have this for a longer time, because I see a very unique mix of tools, which is giving you the results that we want as a startup, and all the questions are answered. I'm trying to really think what is missing here, but I don't see, because you created a full vehicle for us to go to the market. The moment the product matures and the market matures and we have got revenues coming in, we would like to actually take it through the whole process, because like I said, we are trying to shortlist a few strategic tools that we are going to work with for the entire strategy of the company forever. It's not going to be that we're going to change them over a period of time. We want to be focused and do it well rather than use too many tools. So therefore, if this is the one we have done work with, we like to, and everybody likes it. And it's very unique, frankly, Josephine. What you've done is very unique. So we need to just standardize. We're ready to standardize on this. And for the long term, I'm saying that we should be continually working with you to get our strategy right, and the cadence that you're talking about.
Because it's very difficult to explain to people when they don't know what they don't know, what they're going to have for the program.
No, one thing I'd like to say, it probably says it all, is the integration part of it. Because if it is integrated,
yes,
it is end to end. And that is the reason why we've chosen this over anything else we like to do. Because it's integrated very well. Secondly, it takes care of some critical things that other modules will never provide, which is like the white space understanding of the white spaces and planning in that way. We heard about it individually, but not integrate in an integrated fashion.
Yeah.
And the unique thing about a program is how the dots connect from
Thank
one
you.
module to another. That is the most critical part. I think when we do those connection is when we ourselves have a program which is or a plan which is correct. Otherwise, if the dots are not connecting, then you are missing something. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I like about the program, because you do one module, then you do the other, and you can't be forgetting the previous one, right? So it has to have some sense in the next program, and that's where I think I like it very well, because and then overall, then in the end, after the dots are connected, you have a complete products there. So a solution there, like that car that you created.
Yeah.
Yes, it initially actually I was not sure that it will end up so well integrated, because
Okay.
I would think that it would be like one module, then not meaning anything to the next one. But as I said, I think it's really worked out very well. It's a beautiful program. It's very important for the entrepreneurs to have that strategy office, because by themselves, if they're trying to do the entire exercise, it would not really happen, because one individual can't do it, right? And so this whole team actually has helped us create something which is looking very good. I think it's very important to validate with each other what you're doing, because you're doing some module and you do it wrong, then you can't go to the next one. You will make mistakes there as well. But if you are as a team talking to each other, validating what is being done, and finally deciding together as to this is how this module should be done, that is very critical. I think it is important for entrepreneurs to also have a set of people who are part of the strategy on the thinking in the company. No, in fact, it helped us in another way, because it helped us create a structure within the company, which is so clear now, because you can't have just co-founders and then sales office, and then engineering. You have to have a strategy team, because that is what is working, and it is for us it's a big change. I think to collect all your thoughts together, it's important to have a structured tool to sort of do that, because otherwise your strategy can go in different directions.
Yeah.
Here, everything is confined into one space, and you are able to review. The thing is that since it is one space, you are able to also review it if it is in different directions.
Yes. Yes.
When you have startups, you've got co-founders who come with different
Background.
it should be eclectic. A team has to be eclectic. It can't be just one set of people thinking alike. It has to be, the more you think differently, the better it is. But then if that is the case, then get your thoughts together into one structured instrument becomes more critical. Well, it is two things. One is to have an MBA, and the other thing is also that typically in India, a lot of us work for multinationals. The third option is Indian companies. The Indian companies typically, unless it's a Tata or Infosys, they're not very strategic. Global strategy is not there.
Okay.
When it comes to MNC, the problem is that we have worked for MNCs like IBM, HP, Orange all my life. But what gets pushed on to you is the strategy from the head office.
Correct.
Sitting here, and therefore you are pushing somebody else's strategy into a country, and all they want is to get business out of the country, right?
Yeah.
That is their job.
Yeah.
And the more business you get, the more promotions you get in the company.
Yeah.
Now to do something where you're creating a strategy here becomes absent. It doesn't happen in MNC, because you already are working on somebody else's strategy. So you'll find, in fact, I'm very upset with a lot of functions in MNCs that don't work. Like HR function will never have a HR development function here, because the development, what is dictated by the global, sometimes doesn't even stream, come down to the local countries.
Yeah.
So they're only interested in how much revenue you can generate. For that, you need to have good salespeople, good connectivity, good connections with the Indian. So whatever it be, I think maybe some organizations may be doing it, because there are a lot of global organizations that take each country and strategize differently, right, for each country. But most of the time, it doesn't happen, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Here's an opportunity of creating all that for your organization and that unique experience is something which at least I have not got in IBM or HP or Orange.
Okay.
I've always found that it is normally dictated upon, even though you can make very, functional or a market strategy for your vertical, for example.
Correct.
Like hitting telecommunications, so I would make a strategy for the Indian telecommunication industry, but typically I would not know about why and how, what is being pushed to me to push here further.
Yeah.
Here you can make something which you want to create for the world.
Yeah.
And that is what's different, I think. It is different, it is more holistic, it is more complete, more end-to-end, and you got the satisfaction that you had a worldview of something. Because, when you're now studying competition, you would obviously know that you are going to create something which is unique. So in a startup environment, create something unique, you need to do all this. Otherwise, you will probably be a me too, and you would be, and the world is about differentiation today. If you don't have a differentiated product, I would say it's become simpler, because if you can think about a good differentiated product, you can have your own market. But the market is good, right? Earlier, it used to be a few things that you would sell, right, and everybody would buy those few things. Today, the world is totally different. It is totally democratized in a way that one thought can actually go across in different directions. So it's a different world today with the internet coming in, right? So if you have an idea, it can really you can create your own world. Also, people would have a few things to buy. Today, you can create that. And for doing that, therefore, you need the right tools to make sure that you have a scalable strategy which would work. And when it is not scaling, you know that you have to make changes, or you get to another solution or something else. So it's very important to have these tools, right?
Okay.